document, which means it's premeditated. You have a premeditated document prepared, and you was waiting for him to come to call the police so you can create the idea that he was doing something wrong.
Right. Right, but I'm gonna have that conversation with them, right?
Okay.
I don't feel like that's gonna go anywhere. Why would they're calling?
But here's the problem. We have a violation of law right now. We got 3 codes, one statute being violated, one federal law being violated, and one state law being violated. So
I know what you're trying to do, whatever. But if they, I guess
I hate when police say that. I know what you're trying to do, whatever. What am I trying to do? Like, tell me what am I trying to do, motherfucker?
And the state policy that we do it is that the way the state policy is that you fax it off, and you send it off to that address that they gave you earlier.
I'm just here to turn in a FOIA request. That's it.
A what?
Public records request. I'm here to turn one in. I would like you to ask them if they're not going to take this. If they're not going to take this under the law, then I would like to press charges.
Yeah.
If they say they'll take it.
Fellow Americans. My fellow Americans.
My fellow Americans.
My fellow Americans.
My fellow Americans.
My fellow Americans.
My fellow Americans.
EA Nation. It's in the game.
Yeah. You know what the fuck going on. Welcome to Educating America. This is Dammit OJ, Dammit NTTV. Y'all like, comment, share, subscribe to the motherfucking channel. We back at y'all with another one. My bad, it's been a minute, y'all. You know what I mean? My whole system crashed. That's right. My whole system crashed. I had to redo everything alongside with, you know what I'm saying, 4th of July and family coming in town and all that. It's Sunday. I'm just getting back to it. You know what I mean? So, my bad, y'all. You know what I mean? I won't take no hiatus like that again. But I ain't gonna lie, when I came and my system crashed, I wasn't able to stream. You know what I'm saying? I had to redo literally everything, redo the overlays, redo the transitions, get my OBS set all the way back up. Everything that you see at the bottom, I had to redo it over again. Like it was literally time consuming and literally pissed me off. But I say that to say I'm back. I ain't going nowhere. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. Welcome to Educating America. We back at y'all with another one. When you thought it wasn't gonna be no another one, like, comment, share, subscribe to the motherfucking channel. This is Educating America. I am not just a reaction channel. I also do some audits. I just haven't done audits in a while, but mainly I'm doing audit reactions right now. You know what I'm saying? So everybody that I do react to, I hope y'all don't have a problem with me reacting to y'all content. Shout out to TFA, the Flash Audits. Y'all see it on the screen right there. Shout out to TTA Audits, Tyrant Terminator Audits, the godfather of this shit. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Tune In Audits, my cousin. Shout out to Kansas City Accountability. You like right up the roadway from me. You know what I'm talking about? Shout out to goddamn Southern Cali Transparency. Shout out to Eli. I'm about to do some reactions on Eli. You know what I'm saying? Because that's my type of guy right there. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Auditing America. And shout out to everybody out there that's doing audits. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to y'all. Everybody out there exercising your First Amendment right to exercise the freedom to record in public and the right to freedom of speech, you know what I'm saying, and the right to basically freedom of press, you know what I'm saying, and knowing the laws when those public officials try to come in, you know what I'm saying, violate your rights, or when an uneducated, misinformed officer comes and tries to, you know, violate your rights, you know how to stand your ground, you know what I'm saying. So we are back at it with another reaction. This is the 5th revisit, the aftermath, complaint retaliation, reprisal tactics, official oppression at large. So if y'all ain't know, TFA, he went to the health department, not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5. You know what I'm saying? He went 5 times, but that's what we know so far. He went 5 times. He may have had to go in there for a 6, but he done had to go there 5 times to try to file a FOIA request. You know what I'm saying? Because these people are rejecting his FOIA request. So 5 times to one place is highly unacceptable, highly unprofessional, and it shows me and tells me that people, the staff in that location, are very mistrained, untrained, misinformed, uneducated. Let's start there. So yeah, I say that to say this. Shout out to everybody out there. Like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel. We about to get to the reaction. Shout out to TFA for the clearance. I appreciate you, brother, as always. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, let's get to it.
Hand me your gun and your badge.
All right, Flash family, we are back at it again. And it is a very windy day. We're here to do another visit. This will be visit number 5. And we're coming to check the temperature. You know, I did some complaints. I spoke to the ombudsman for the Texas Human Health Service offices. They have an ombudsman. You can Google that number. Ombudsman, Texas Health and Human Services Office. I spoke to the ombudsman, put in a few complaints. It doesn't mean they got the paint. It doesn't mean this actual facility got educated immediately. However, we're still going to continue our visits until they do get educated. Now, it's very possible that they have been educated. You know, I won't put that aside. You always want to hope and wish and speculate for the best.
I'm gonna say they haven't been educated. If you had to be back 5 times, they haven't been educated. It's probably been talked about, but there ain't been no actual like training on paper. You know what I'm saying? Going back to the computer and reading like, you know, a paragraph or 2 or 3 on what's going on with this First Amendment shit. You know what I'm saying? And actually doing a test and being quizzed on it. You feel me?
I have another FOIA request that I want to turn in for a different set of information. And they take my request, I'll be in and out. Whether it's 30 seconds, 1 minute, or 10 minutes, I'll be in and out. Real simple.
By the way, Chad, it's still 4th of July weekend. They popping hella shit in my neighborhood. So if y'all hear it, please bear with me.
We're gonna try this again. Oh shit. Oh, look at it. Security jumped up. He jumped up already, so he been alerted. How you doing? I'm just here to turn in a FOIA request, that's it.
A what?
Public records request. I'm here to turn one in.
She's confused. She has no idea what's going on right now. She said, "A what?" Look at her face.
He been alerted. How you doing? I'm just here to turn in a FOIA request, that's it.
A what?
A what? Look at her face. Like, huh? What the hell you talking about?
Public records request. I'm here to turn one in. You call police for Dover? Yeah, I'm not sure if he's. I noticed when I walked in, he jumped right up, so. Hey, if you wanna, Yes, actually you can. How you doing? What's your name? Miss Ayala. How you doing? I'm here to turn in a public records request form. You guys should give me a copy of this and forward it to your public information officer. That'll be it. And I'll be out here.
Okay, and I appreciate that you'd like us to do that, but we do not fax for you. Our policy. You fax it off. I know you talked to one of our supervisors earlier, Mr. Almanza, on the phone, correct?
George?
Yes.
Well,
We went over that with you. Just let me explain. And you had you talked to him about that the federal policy is for us to fax it off, but we're not a federal agency.
the state code mirrors the federal law. The state code is 552. Texas code.
And the state policy that we do it is that the way the state policy is that you fax it off, and you send it off to that address that they gave you earlier.
Wrong.
When I guess the security guard gave
He about to educate her. Watch.
that information on the open records request. That's the way the state agencies handle it.
Okay, I've listened to your position. Now, the actual state law, Code 552,
Okay.
it mirrors the federal law. However, if you're going to look at the actual state law, there's 26 pages.
Okay.
If you guys don't have the 26 pages, that explains why you guys are not looking at subsection 3, line C. Subsection 3, line C says that it's the agency's responsibility.
Y'all see that deep breath deep breath she just took? Like, this guy talking penal codes and shit.
In that subsection 3, line C. Subsection 3, line C says that it's the agency's responsibility to forward it to their public information officer. The policy printout you guys gave me wasn't law. It was just a printout, which is a small, compressed version of the 26 pages. But that's why there's subsections. You have to read those subsections. So when you get to that subsection, subsection 3, line C, you will see where it says the agency has to forward it to a PIO.
Okay. So.
The state law, not even the federal one. But the federal one says the same thing, though.
Okay. And I respect that. So each agency has their own process.
It's one law.
Okay, that's our process, sir, and that's the way we have to handle it. Unfortunately, we're just, the Edinburgh office, we have to do what Austin tells us to do. And that's what Austin is telling us to do.
All the county and state facilities fall under Austin's jurisdiction in regards to the AG reviewing public information requests.
Okay.
The purpose of sending it up to Austin is when there's a question about release.
Okay.
That's the only time it gets sent to the AG, when there's a question about, are we allowed to release this? And then the AG makes a determination based on whatever declaration y'all are saying we can't release this under our deal of this law.
Okay.
Then the AG would get in and say,
School him! School him, TFA! School her ass! Let her know what's popping.
at a higher authority level, yeah or no to the requester. But that's the only time. They don't automatically go to the AG. They only go to the AG when there's a question about release.
Right, and that's not going to the AG. That's going to where our agency's records are, because we don't release from this agency, from
Correct.
this office right here. Is that the original signature?
Yes. Yeah, I don't know what that is. I'm not. You can mail it to me.
We don't have your address.
Well, I gave a FOIA request to have an email address on it.
We have to hand deliver this to you.
I don't accept hand deliveries.
Okay. You can just set it down there.
Yeah, you can say it. I don't know what it is, but I don't accept hand deliveries. But I do accept emails. So I'm not refusing anything. If you guys want to email it,
And the same thing with you. We do not refuse stuff from you, but you're welcome to email it to us.
right. So, but the difference is you guys have my email, so you can email whatever.
And the same thing is with you. You have our email?
No, I don't have your email. I have Austin's email.
That's correct.
Different email.
That's our, sir, we've given you the email.
Don't get defensive. We're having a good conversation.
And I understand.
So just for
I'm just being defensive at all.
you want to call the police already? Because she's having a conversation.
She definitely getting defensive. She definitely getting out of her body a little bit, but she's containing it. You know what I'm saying? But you can definitely tell she's getting different. She's definitely getting kind of riled up.
You know, I heard him say call the police.
Oh, I don't know what he said.
That's why I'm letting you know. That's why I'm letting you know what he said.
Oh,
Yeah.
but I'm having a conversation with you. I don't know what he said.
I know, but do you think it's necessary for him to call police?
I'm not calling the police.
No, but I'm saying if okay, well, I heard it, so it caught my attention. That's all I'm saying. I wouldn't have turned around because you were talking. It's rude to turn around when somebody's talking. Right. So when I heard it, I immediately turned around. No. Yeah. But no, just for all the confusions to be no confusion, in terms of what you're saying, you're right. As
Don't upload your videos to YouTube. Upload to Restream, where we will live stream it to YouTube and all your platforms at once. Get ready for 5
as in the email addresses. But the only difference with that logic is when I said you have my email address, I mean I'm the entity. You have me as the entity. The email address you're talking about is not this entity, so it's not quite the same thing. Right. But yeah, oh, and then you made a statement about we do what we do and not what any other human health and service does.
No, I don't think that's what I said.
You said we're different. We operate different.
No, I'm saying that
Because all the other health departments take my FOIA request. For Hidalgo County. When I'm in Hidalgo, Texas, they take it. When I'm in Mercedes, Texas, they take it. This is the only actual entity of the Hidalgo County that hasn't taken it.
when you went to those other agencies, they gave you the information.
No, they just took my request. They gave me a copy of it.
Oh.
I'm just answering the question.
On Friday, when you came and gave us a handwritten paper, we took that paper.
No, they called the police. The police forced them to take it. They didn't take it.
But we took it Friday. But we did not fax it off because
Then why would you not have an email? If you say you took it, you have an email then.
that paper that we gave you, we don't. That one does not get emailed off.
You got a policy that can show me that?
That's not from me. That's from our business office.
But is there like a business office that says that what you guys don't email so I can just have that for future reference?
I don't have it. I'm not part of the business.
So you don't know if it's a real policy?
I'm not part of the business office.
Okay, well, don't
I'm
tell
part of this office.
I respect that. So don't tell me business policy from an office that you're not part of.
Okay.
Respectfully.
That came from the business office. Hi. Hello, can I help you? Yes, sir. He's wanting to know why you want that.
Oh, here come. She was in here the other day. I'm about to slow this down because there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. I'm about to slow it down a little bit, y'all.
Oh no, this is for you, sir.
I don't accept things in person. I accept them in fact. Email.
Okay.
When I'm receiving stuff.
Okay, thank you.
And then the only reason why is because you have my email. That's the only reason why. But if you didn't have my email, I would accept it, just to let you know. But if you guys tell me you don't have the email, then I'll accept it and I'll leave. No, she said don't talk. We already called the police. That's fine.
Makes sense that they don't have it because they threw it away.
Cordova, why you call the police while I was talking to her? Well, you didn't call. You mentioned it. You picked it up. So while I was talking, like, the only reason I'm asking this question is because you informed about calling the police while there was an actual fundamental dialogue. So why was that necessary?
Yeah, it wasn't necessary at all for them to call the police. As soon as he saw TFA, he immediately was like, "Get 12 here."
Yeah, you have the right to exercise your right. What time is that? So I can make sure I'm not here after closing. That's what I want to know. You know what time it is? You spoke in time every other time.
Right, he acting super califragilistic right now, chat. What the fuck is going on? You know what I'm saying? He was super talkative and every other day, super helping, but the public officials probably got on him like, yo, stop helping him, stop trying to be the middleman, don't do anything, just don't speak to the guy. If he comes, just call the police.
You ain't gonna tell me time today? No? Okay. I thought y'all used to have a clock. You ain't got a clock in here? I'm asking that because I'm recording, so it don't show me the time. That's what I'm asking. Well, you know how this goes, Cordova. It's been 4 visits already. You know I wait on the police. But since I don't know what time it is, and it's empty in here, I'm gonna wait outside. But you know I always wait on them. So I see them outside.
Yeah. Let them know, TFA. Police already sitting behind those cars, so it appears they're trying to have me in there past closing time. Then they was gonna say I refused to leave after I was already banned. They trying to set me up. Cold game. They tried. They tried.
So I see the police out here already. So they're following me. Look at this, y'all.
While I'm in the building, no one wants to answer my questions, neither take my public records requests. Yet when I walk out the building, now they want to follow me. This proves that they had a plot set up and I killed their plan by walking out.
To leave because I don't know what time it is, and there used to be a clock up there, but they took the clock down. So look at this. This is crazy. So now they're following me. There go the police right there.
Okay, let's go. Let's get to it. Let's get to the meat and potatoes of this shit. Pause.
Pause.
Yeah, I ain't seen TFA with 12 yet. Let's see.
But so you guys on behalf got your like administration involved? So as far as him being outside now, he's fine?
He's not allowed in the
Okay, just so what do you mean by that? So
okay,
so do you understand how they explain to you what's going on?
No.
Okay. So pretty much what they're saying is that they got their administration involved because of what's going on, right? With you filming and doing all this stuff. And I know what you're trying to do, whatever. But if they, I guess.
I hate when police say that. I know what you're trying to do, whatever. What am I trying to do? Like, tell me what am I trying to do, motherfucker? Like, what am I trying to do? In their view, you're just trying to get YouTube clicks. You're trying to get views. You're trying to make money. Like, no, I'm trying to educate these motherfuckers, bro. Get this shit right.
Administration involved to serve you regarding banning you from the premises. So now they're like formally telling you that they can trespass you. According to the administration, right? That's pretty much what they're telling you. So they're giving me a copy and they're wanting you to take a copy as well, so that way you can read it if you have any questions. Or anything like that, you can contact them and figure out what's going on, right? Figure if that's legal or not, I don't know.
Right. But before I even take that, because y'all know you're just out here, and it ain't your fault.
Yeah.
Right. But before I even take that, I want to just say this. You can't ban a member of the public.
Yeah, so I think I explained that last time, and I was like...
No, I said trespass. I'm talking about ban. That's two different things. Ban and trespass is different. To ban somebody from a public entity that handles public aid and services is totally different. Now, trespass has a temporary statute. So you can trespass like for 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, up to a year. Even the courts have ruled that you cannot indefinitely trespass anyone. Right. And so when she says ban, and she's getting you to enforce the idea of banning, that's a different logic. But I was leaving anyway.
I don't have any way to enforce it, right? But my thing is that she's claiming that they want to give you this letter, right?
Well,
They want to give you this letter so that way, if in case you have any discrepancies, you can reach up to management, right? And let them know, hey, is this even legal? Or get an attorney in this case and be like, is this even legal? Because I'm going to have to go figure this out now, right? I'm pretty sure we might get called back out here again. I don't know if they're going to try to come out here again or not. And my thing is, of course, I'm just trying to handle it legally. Our job is just to provide them service, right? They call us, I have to show up.
Right. Just for the documentation. Last number again? 34? 58. Okay, yeah. Yeah,
so that's why I'm going to grab the other copy and do my...
That's a retaliation because they had that prepared before I even showed up.
Well, I guess because they assume, what I'm guessing is because I've heard that a couple of calls come out here to this location, so maybe they know you're going to come at some point, and they already contacted whoever they had to contact to say what can they do, and however they feel like they're going to handle it is, I guess, through this letter, right?
Yeah, no, they're hoping you guys acknowledge that as part of their extension of force. Right. That's what they're hoping.
I'm not enforcing anything right now. I'm just going to give you the letter. Like I said, take this, and then from there,
just to let you guys know, he said he's not enforcing this. He just said he's not enforcing that.
So that's if I'm going to do my research,
right.
And then from there, I'm going
to later on, right.
Figure out what we got to do on it, right? Yeah, just hold on to it.
Well, here's the deal. I'm not going to take it from them, from you, because they have my email. Okay. So the proper way for them to document me having it would be to email it to me. Right. That's what they should do. So I'm not going to take it. Right. Okay. No. But yeah. But as far as as far as this parking lot, these entities have different addresses. They can't trespass me from this whole parking lot. They can only trespass. Well, not even trespass. They can't ban me from this whole parking lot because they're one entity. That entity is separate. That's separate. That's separate. All have different purposes, right? Am I wrong?
It's all state. Like they're all state. I think this is like what
Well, casing is when you don't have any official business. If you're doing official business, that's not casing. So me attempting to do a public records request, I don't know what the problem is. If I'm trying to request public records, which is allowed to request, oh man, look at that, another one.
Holy,
Shift change.
holy, chat.
Oh. Let me get that badge number today, right? How you doing, officer? Name and badge number? Garcia 88. How you doing, officer? Name and badge number? 142. Muniz. Oh, Muniz. One what? 122. Nice to meet you, Muniz. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure I got them all down. Are y'all on shift change or something? Yeah, you talked to me last time. You know what's true? Yeah. See what? But now what they're hoping, because to say anybody can draft that up, but to say that that's who it came from, that ain't proving that that's who it came from. I can draft something up with a header or with a watermark, but that I actually spoke to George today, and George is the manager of another department who handles the complaints, and he knew I was coming to turn in my request, and I asked him ahead of time. I said, hey, would you let you know I'm gonna be there to turn in? We all good? He said, well, yeah, no, just no. You go in and take it. Oh shit, yeah, yeah. But yeah, so that what they got right there is, which is slick, because they figure, you know what? If we print this out and show it to the police, then they use it as an enforcement. But you can't ban someone from a public entity. You could ban someone from a private entity, but not public, because it's services. So what if I need services? Right, and I've had services before, so and I have a file in there. So that'd be kind of wild to try to ban somebody. No, that's crazy. I've never, in the only time I've seen it happen, it went to Supreme Court, where school administration tried to give somebody an indefinitely trespass. And the Supreme Court said you can't indefinitely trespass from an administration building to somebody. It wasn't me. No, I've never been to the Supreme Court myself. But I'm prepared to go whenever it's necessary. Yeah. But she's trying to get y'all to enforce that. What she's trying to do. Are you got, No, man, and the other officer the supervisor came last time. I've been trying to get public records, and they refuse to take my public records request. State and county entities fall under the Freedom of Information Act. You can turn, and there's no mandate form to request, you can write it down. They've been refusing to take it, all because they don't have the knowledge, but all they have to do is take it and forward it to the PIO. You running something, man? You finna run something? You finna run something? Oh, no. Oh, yeah. So, it's actual, matter of fact, if I can get you guys if you guys want to enforce law, 5 USC 552, which is law, federal law, state law 552, code 552 states that they have to take my FOIA request. They don't have to produce the documents when they take this, but they have to take it and forward it. Them not taking it is a violation of 5 USC 552, which is federal law, federal code, and code 552, Texas code. Them not taking that is also a Texas penal code violation. I believe was 32. It's official oppression. Official oppression is when you use your official capacity to alienate the rights. There's actual penal code for that. So right now there's 3 violations of law here, because my purpose, I only been here like 5 minutes. It'd be different if I was here like 30 minutes, an hour or something. I walk in, hand in the paper, they call 911. But here's the problem. We have a violation of law right now. We got 3 codes, one statute being violated, 1 federal law being violated, and 1 state law being violated. So I would like you guys to either tell them to take this. They don't have to give me let me show you what I'm talking about. Oh, that's somebody's car. Yeah. All right. This is right here. This is what it is. Yeah, just 5 questions. It's public records. It's nothing private. It's public records. And their PIO is the one to, if they can't release it, they will send it up to the Attorney General, and the Attorney General will be the one to deny me. But if they're not accepting that, then I would like to press charges for breaking the law, because I'm giving you real law. It's no different if you told me the penal code for what is it, 3806 for showing ID, right? If I didn't do that, I'd be breaking the penal code, which is breaking the law. Right now, they breaking the penal code.
Hey, I give it to TFA, man. He definitely schooling these officers on codes and what needs to happen right now in this situation. I want to see if these officers actually do what they're supposed to do and enforce the law that he is telling them right now. And what they're trying to do is against the law, and it is oppression. It's retaliation. Like, it's just a whole lot of shit.
Officially have their own policy or their own request form.
No, there's no state request form.
So according to her, they can't serve you via email. They have to either give it to you here in person, or they can mail it to you. If you want to provide them your address, they can mail it to you.
Can she show you that policy?
No, I mean, I don't know that.
She can't show you that. That's a lie. She's just lied to you.
That's what she's telling me, right?
Right.
I'm just telling you what she's telling me.
No, I understand. No, it's
so
Garcia.
you want to take that?
No. I can't take that because I know she's lying. Like, here's how I am. I'm giving him law. Penal code. There's a penal code for official oppression.
Right.
Official oppression, this is Texas penal code, is when you use your official capacity to alienate the rights. 5 U.S.C. 552, federal law. 5 U.S.C. 552 is the FOIA, Freedom of Information Law. Texas Code 552 is the state public records, which mirrors the federal law. If they're not going to abide by any one of those 3 laws, then I have to press charges for breaking the law. No different if I was violating 3806, which is under a law for arrest, you got to show ID. That's 3806, right? So right now they're violating the law. So I would like to press charges. I'm not asking you to inflict arrest, but I would like to report to press charges. For violation of Texas Penal Code, a violation for federal 5 U.S.C. 552, violation for...
Because they're preventing you from doing it?
No, because it says when you refuse it, they don't have to give you the information. Because the Attorney General can deny the information.
So are you coming over here requesting information? And they're not going to give it to you?
No. I'll come over here to turn this in so they can send it to their PIO, their public information officer.
So you came over here to film that, to give them that, and they're refusing to take it?
Yeah.
Okay, and then they're serving you with this paper?
Right, and as a retaliation. Okay. They can't do that. That's a official oppression, which is a Texas Penal Code.
To get the request here, right?
No, there's no Texas. If you Google right now, there's no mandate form for a public request. I know what you're saying, like.
One of our reports to get that.
Even you guys, I've requested you guys before. There's no, I could use you guys for I could choose my own form. But you guys provide a form as a courtesy, but there's no official form mandated by law. Yeah. So here's what I would like to do. I would like you to ask them if they're not going to take this. If they're not going to take this under the law, then I would like to press charges.
Yeah.
If they say they'll take it, I don't.
Yeah, TFA. That's what the fuck I'm talking about. Press charges on their head.
As long as they take it, they get their job.
Let's see what they gonna do. Y'all think they gonna take it, or do you think they gonna reject it? Put a 1 in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat if you think he gonna reject it.
That's it, and I leave, and I never come back. You know why? Because my email's there. So after they take it, they can email me and say, Mr. King, we're sending this to our PIO, Public Information Officer, and whatever happens from there, it's not our gig. Yeah, but I would advise you to inform them that they also are breaking the law. Okay. Right. And the thing about it is, officer, is when we as citizens violate laws, we are held accountable, even if it's seatbelt law. we get a ticket, if it's an arrestable offense, we get arrested. Right. So it's pains and penalties. So my thing is, we can't allow official misconduct. Ain't got the problem with Trump. He got 35 felonies under official conduct. We can't allow that trend to keep existing. If you clearly see the law, I know you guys didn't look up the law, but if somebody said, look at the cameras, he hit me, you guys will look at the cameras. So it should go that way with the law also. Matter of fact, officer, can you do me a favor? Can you look up you can just type in, it's 38, but I want to quote the wrong numbers. It's 38 something. The actual Texas Penal Code for official oppression. Stand by, Steve. Family, stand by, family, stand by. Whoever sees, I don't know who oversees this building yet, because there's things that are going to play like private contracts, so they could be renting this facility.
Building, right? So
I don't know if it's a state funded agency, but they could have a contract to rent the building.
Okay.
So there's
not the agency itself. I'm talking about that. But you gone to their supervisors?
Yeah, so they say because they're banning you, they can't take anything from you. So that's what they.
Why was here before they banned me though? So that's
I guess they already said they were gonna do it, or at some point had it already arranged. I don't know, but she's refusing to take it too.
Okay, I would like to press charges then.
Okay, so then
Okay.
Give me the case card, and I'll get your information.
Now, when one person charges, so are you citating them for the? You just seen the penal code,
Right.
Texas penal code. What you gonna do? Are you gonna cite them, or are you just
Well,
taking my?
I gotta do my research. I'm gonna take your information, right? Whatever I have, whatever going on.
Take everything.
Yeah, I'm gonna get their information. What do I have, right? Is there a violation here? Is there a penal code violation? Something like that? Then I go from there, right? That's how I file my report.
But you guys know penal code on spot. When you guys say, hey, you give me your ID 3806, you guys know this penal code. You got a book also.
I'm not saying we know every numbers, but we know what we can and can't do, right?
But you guys got a book, right? You got a penal code book, right?
Yeah,
So why don't you look at the penal code?
well, that's what I'm gonna do. But,
Oh, okay, yeah. You gonna do that now, or are you saying they're gonna get away with it?
No, I'm gonna get all the information. I'm gonna file a report. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's different. And then if it goes from there, investigation gets a hold of it, they do what they can, whether it's citations, arrests, whatever else they go from that.
So is this report me pressing charges, or just a miscellaneous report?
Well, if you're saying you're pressing charges, I can put that in the report if it meets the requirements for charges, right? So, like, let's say I look it up. Hey, this is the code. This is what's going on. It meets the requirement for this element of a crime. I submit it as an offense. Investigation gets a hold of it. They do their investigation on the crime, and if it falls in that category, right, of a crime, then whoever has to get charged gets charged. That's how.
I got a question real quick with that with something you said earlier. That banning aspect. Are you trying to enforce the ban?
No, I'm just trying to get. They're just saying, hey.
So what happens if I come back?
Well, that's what I'm
So
gonna
just so you're trying to
so
force
they're giving me a paper for me, right? They're
The
saying,
research.
hey, a copy for you, copy for me, right?
Mhm.
Now I'm gonna do my research on this.
Mhm.
I'm gonna reach up to my brass, right? My guys up on top. Hey,
Mhm.
is this legal? What can we do in this particular case to serve them, right? If they're claiming this is a legal standpoint, this paper stands, and you can be banned, then I'm letting you know that probably other officers are gonna come out here already gonna be notified about it. And if there's some criminal thing on your end that's being happening, well, then they're gonna handle it at that point criminally that way, right?
Right.
Now, right now, I'm not gonna do that because obviously I gotta do my research on what.
Don't mind me holding, by the way, my thing came off.
So that's how I'm handling this today, right?
Right.
I'm not trying to do anything for you or do anything for them. I'm just trying to handle it civilly, right?
Kind of neutral. You're saying I'm not acting on yours. I'm not acting on his right now. Right.
But obviously, I don't want another officer to come out here and not know what's going on. That way, we're all on the same page, right?
Right. See, this is, man, see, I'm pro-police, but this is how police wind up in litigation. Because I don't know if you guys ever noticed or how much research you guys done. From my opinion, I haven't seen a lot of bad police officers. What I see is errors. Because, now, follow my logic. From an entity standpoint, how often is entity suing you guys? Never. It's always, well, I'm not gonna say never. It's mostly the public, right? And the reason why is because there's judgment decisions where it's one-sided. If I was in there right now breaking the penal code, I would be fined, cited, or arrested. Guaranteed. But when they're breaking the penal code is, well, let me do some research. I think that's unfair.
Definitely not an even playing field. Cause y'all hear what he just said?
Penal code, I would be fined, cited, or arrested.
Guaranteed he would be fined, cited, or arrested if he did any of that. But let them do it. It's just, we'll get back to you.
But when they're breaking the penal code is, well, let me do some research. I think that's unfair.
But as an officer, I'm not gonna make the call to do that if I'm not knowledgeable enough to do that. That's why I'm telling you I'm gonna file a report.
Right.
Research it, right?
You know, you're doing it fair though, because you're also saying, well, I'm not trying to enforce this on you right now either. So you're being, fairly.
It's fair to say, hey,
Right.
if somebody's in the wrong here, we're gonna figure that out, right?
Did you at least tell them that they was breaking the law? Did you tell them that?
I told them that you want to file charges against them. So they're aware of that.
Okay.
But that's where I'm gonna go back to the next day. Are you serious about filing charges against them? So I'm gonna have to get all your information so I can file a formal report.
Right. Or I can also take the report number and go in person and file charges, right?
You can do that, or you can get an attorney and tell them what's going on. It's up to you. Right?
Well, I like to file see, with these entities, what they do, they find loopholes. They say, well, he didn't go through this administrative procedure. He didn't, and then the police department, they be like, well, he didn't file a complaint here either, so we didn't know, right? And so there's like several different steps you got to take before just trying to file a lawsuit.
Yeah, so it's up to you.
Right.
Like I said, if you're asking me to do something for you.
Yeah, I need their names. So since I'm gonna file a report, since this is a public entity, and I'm allowed to have their names, I would like to have their names.
Okay. I mean, I can try to get it for you, but like I said, it's gonna be on the report, so you can request a report and it'll be on there.
Well, yeah, but since it is going to be on the report, that makes it public because it's I can request it.
Yeah.
So therefore I can have it on.
I'm gonna get your information because you're saying, hey, I'm gonna file something against them. I'm gonna get their information.
Well, I'm gonna do mine there though. I'm gonna do mine at the actual.
You're just gonna go to the police department?
Right. I'm gonna take the case number though.
Okay.
With a call for service number. I'm gonna take that
You don't
number.
want to give me information right now?
No, because you got it all in body here right now.
Right.
Of my intentions.
You're gonna get it over there too. They're gonna record you. You report everything. Any public person, right? If you go to the police department, there's an officer there's gonna be recording as well.
No, I don't mind. I'm saying as far as my intentions, you already have it. So you know my intentions. I'm gonna go over there. Yeah.
Okay, but right now you don't want to give me any information for the report.
No, I just want their names for my report.
Okay, so then once you do that, you can file it over there. You're gonna give them information over there.
Yep.
Do your thing, and then you're gonna say, hey, the officer that whatever is gonna be tied to this, when you go and formally request the report, the records, all the information.
Okay. Yeah. So you're saying you're not gonna give me their names here?
No, it'll be like you'll have to request it through the police department, and then records will allow you to request the report, and then you can get all the information.
But it's just like you a public official at the police department. If I go in there and ask for their name, they can't say no. You're a public official.
Again, if they want to release information to you, that's up to them, right? If they're violating whatever rights that you feel like they're violating, that's fine. I have to follow my procedure, right? And my policy would probably say that you would have to request that to the record, right? Not through me, right? I can't just be giving information to people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. though. You basically saying
I'm a middleman here.
Yeah, you're the middleman. Yeah, right. But that's a problem because they can middleman me out the way for them.
Yeah. Well, that's why I recommend in particular cases you get an attorney, and if
No, I got one already. Trust me, I got one.
Rights, then he's gonna figure that out, right?
Yeah. Trust me. I got a real good situation right now in the Northern District.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm doing good. But I try to go for injunction. You know what injunction is?
No, I don't.
You know what injunction is? That's when you file a federal lawsuit for policy.
Let's let them know what an injunction is again, TFA.
To be revised or changed, and for the removal of a public official. There's two ways to file a federal lawsuit. File for money, which make you look like an asshole because the public citizens got to pay that. Or you file for injunctions, which that's what the judges like to see. They don't want to see people doing money grabs. Right. Yeah.
And so what they're claiming also is that these two buildings are pretty much the same, and then this is a county building. So I thought they were all the same, but this is a county.
Yeah, I know they're different. Yeah. Right. Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. I was like, no, they're not all the same. No, those two addresses the same, but this address is different. Right. I do my research before I come out here also. But here's a situation. Before you guys hypothetically speaking, if you guys were ever to try to enforce a ban or a trespass, you can only enforce it from the building unless you do your homework to see if they own the actual property.
So they're claiming they do.
They can't claim. You gotta
That's what I'm telling you.
if they don't even know my rights, how do they know who owns it?
They're saying they talked to their administration. They went up to the
But they ain't proved nothing though.
But that's why they're doing what they're doing. I'm not saying that it's right.
Right, okay.
They're doing what they're doing on their end. They're saying, hey, this is what we did to reach out to administration. Administration says this.
What is that?
What? A letter?
Yeah, that's
the one that they're saying.
They got my that's
Says your name on it.
you can get that back to them.
Okay, like
I don't want you to take my information.
Okay.
If I can't have the information, then I want them to give me my information. That's fair. That ain't fair use. She right there. Get back to her. No, get that back to her though.
Oh, no, they're giving it to me.
No, but if they can't give you my information, you got to give me their information. That's come on, that don't make sense.
No, your information is on your name. Is that your name?
Yeah, so they got to give you that information, or give it back to her. She's right there.
Maybe that's all they have. Because I asked her, I was like, well, do you have information? She's like, no, that's all we have.
But still,
I don't understand that part.
because if you enforce it, you're gonna enforce it as a name. So you're gonna force a name with the ID as the visual, which is
That's on them. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not. Again, I'm not even.
Munoz.
I'm just telling you the paper they want you to have.
I need a third party intervention here. No, and it's not. We're not mad. I just want to hear if maybe you understand my logic. If they're able to give things pertaining to my ID to a third party, and I'm telling him to give that back to them, or give me their name also. It can't be one way. You can't give it that. It don't work that way. No, you see, it don't matter how they got it. It don't matter how they got it. No,
Like I said,
Overall, these are some cool cops, you know what I'm saying? They overstanding of the situation, not fully thoroughly overstanding of it, because they said they had to go do some research, but they not no tyrants, you know what I'm saying? I say that at least.
By law, what's your policy that says you have to take something they give you?
I'm not. That's why I'm saying this is what they want.
Okay, common question that you give back to them.
Okay.
Oh, she right there.
But I already did that, and they said, you know what, sir, you can keep it.
Listen, if you give it back to them, I never come back.
Huh?
If you give it back to them, I never come back. How about that? I'm trying to look, now I'm giving it resolve.
But you see, I already told them.
But it's mine. I can take it from you right now and throw it away.
Yeah.
Or I can tell you to give it back. See? It's like...
So I did do that, right? You told me to do that. I did do that, and this is what they told me. No, they're not going to take that. They told me to keep it in that case.
Okay, the paper that belongs to me.
On the same page, you want us to research what we can and we can't do, right?
I don't want you guys to research that.
So we're gonna take that document and research it so we can see what
Yeah, like, are they even legal standpoint in this, right? Does this even stand?
But here's the problem. You guys not even going to research none. You guys are going to pass it on to the next man. Put him to research it. You going to ask me investigator? You're not going to say, hey, chief, here you go.
I don't want other officers coming out here. Like, I work this whole area, right? So
Right, you have it out here.
I want to educate all the other cops coming out here. Hey, this is what's going on, right?
Okay.
This is what we need to do when we go to this call, right? Or this is how we need to be handling it. Because if it's not a police matter, right? The last thing I want to do is have us respond when it's not even our issue, right?
Okay. So I'm going to say two more things. I'm going to let you guys roll out.
I like that answer.
When you go investigate that, are you investigating the law or are you investigating their position?
I'm just trying to be black and white. Can they ban you? That's it. Yes or no? If they can't, well then we're not gonna worry about it. If they say yes, he can be banned from this location, then we'll figure
If who say yes?
If the law says or the statute or whatever that I read, right? Other than that, if whatever you're saying, you already read, you already did your research, and this is all like no, right? This can't happen? Well then maybe you're right.
Okay, now I said I had a few questions, right? Not one. My second question is this. In terms of that paper, we already know, based on me being out here several times, trying to turn in, I can't believe I'm having this issue turned into a fucking piece of paper. But we already know that the purpose of that paper is a retaliation paper so that they would stop trying to accept this. So
I guess that's what she said, right? She's like, well, we already banned it, we can't accept anything from it. So she already stated that, right? So maybe.
But let's be real. They didn't accept the last time you was here, and I wasn't banned. So that's false. That's called a perjury report. You know that to be true, right?
I mean,
nah, I got him on video, man. He was here last time.
She's saying, that's what she's saying. I don't know.
But what do you know? Was I banned last time?
No, I was here, but I don't know. The last
Did they accept it last time? No.
I think they came out a couple more times after me, though, right?
But I'm saying, no matter what point in time they came out, they never accepted it from the first time. So we can't try to give that the foundation. That can't be the foundation.
I saw my second time dealing with you, and it was the same thing.
Your two young ladies, officers came out here. It was on video, so that's why, you know what? You know what's crazy? You guys say, when I say you guys in the police department, you guys are always saying, I wasn't here. I don't know. But when somebody press charges from an official business standpoint, you don't say I wasn't here, I don't know. You follow their narrative. That's unfair justice.
Yeah. So
Got a point.
Yeah, my job is to come out here for the call for service, right? So
Yeah.
It's always from the ground up, right? I come out, I have a little bit of history of what's going on here, but I'm calling because hey, we need police over here, right? What I gotta do respond, right? Then I gotta figure out what to do with my.
I like Bryson. He cool, man.
So I'm not gonna, but I'm not gonna feed into. Like obviously, I'm gonna figure out what's going on. If I can't make a logical call, I'm not gonna do
You want to make the right call, basically, right? Now, to all fairness, can we both agree that when you came here, I was never banned the first time?
Yeah. For all I know, you're not banned right now. They're just saying you are. That's what they're claiming.
Right, but they're claiming that's why they're not. That's what you're saying. That's why you're not going to get that back to them because they are.
No, I did try to give it back to her. She's like, we can't accept it.
So they made you take something.
Just said to keep it. They told me to keep it, right?
So you're choosing to keep it. Or they force it on you?
I can destroy it. I mean, I don't know what else to do. I can throw it. I can leave it on the ground. I'm not gonna do that.
He's tracking them.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm like trying to mitigate between both.
Right, nah. I'm laughing, but y'all, I'm laughing to keep composure. This is actually a serious matter, you know, but I'm trying to keep composure.
And that's why I'm explaining to you, if it's a police matter, right, then yeah, we're gonna handle it that way. If it's not, well, then I'm gonna educate all the other officers that come out here. Hey, this is not a police matter. Don't do this, that, or...
But see, that's what the last 4 officers told him. This is not a police matter.
Right now, I don't think it is, but like I said, obviously.
Well, they're trying to make it by saying, if they use, come on, we play with words in law. It's called terminology. You don't know if I'm a law student or not. There's something called terminology, right, of emphasis. So when you say we ban here, we ban him or we ban them, now there's something called a disorderly action behind it or a trespass action behind that concept. So now there's a fundamental asserted idea that now there's a law being broken. So we're allowed to play with words without any law being broken. I would ask this, if I was a lawman, and this is why I'm not a lawman, I'm gonna tell you why, because you guys can find my name. Now that you got my name, you can find me on your roster where I actually did a test back in 2024 and passed and everything, you know, but I backed out. I chose not to go, but I did pass. But for Edinburgh specifically. But part of the reason why I backed out is because I'm the type of person who will correct the officer on the scene. I was in the military also, and guess what? They don't want us correcting people in official capacity on the scene. And officers, the same way, officer conduct is you back that person up and we deal with the correction later. I don't like that concept because that concept creates a public disgust. This is why police numbers are down, because there's a public disgust from police officer perspective. Right. What I would do is I would have said, ma'am, I need to know what law was broken, because right now this looked like retaliation. You have a pre-prepared document, which means it's premeditated. You have a premeditated document prepared, and you was waiting for him to come to call the police so you can create the idea that he was doing something wrong.
Right. And I already did that, right? But I'm gonna have a conversation with them, right?
Okay.
I don't feel like that's gonna go anywhere. Why would I do that? They're calling us for help, so I'm gonna be like, what do you want, right? Then obviously I'm getting your side of the story. You're saying, hey, this is what I want done, right? So like I said, if I'm like, okay, well maybe it's not a police matter, maybe it is, I'll take whatever information you're giving me, right?
Right.
And if it's reportable, then I'll do it. But if not, then that's what I'm saying.
The only reason I would say that would matter, the way I was saying it, because that stops the misuse of authority. Right. See, if you go research that and it says, oh yeah, we're allowed to ban anybody, then you come back and say, hey man, they're in their well rights to ban you. But if it's done in proper order and you say, wait a minute, first of all, what law did he break? Because this would be considered discrimination if you're banning him just because he's trying to exercise a right.
So that's how I feel. I'm on your side, right? Because I don't think that you're doing anything wrong. But I get
if they take it, I never come back. That was crazy.
Right,
you get the point?
Well, then the way they feel, right? They're saying, hey, that you come in here and film people and they don't like it, and that's the reason why they're calling us, because they feel that that's what's going on.
I show up at the last minute when it's empty, so that there's not a lot of people here. Yeah, so I have no antagonistic method.
Yeah, so that's what they're claiming. I'm not saying this,
right?
I'm just saying this is what they're telling me, and I'm like, okay, right?
But you just said that don't make any sense. You show up at 4:30. That's dumb.
And I figured, like I saw the call, and I know they closed at 5. Last time it came, it was at 5, right?
Right. And I told him last time, another officer, I said, look, I don't ever come in the morning or in the middle of the day because there's so much traffic. And if there is a controversial moment about accepting the paperwork, I'm not trying to have a controversial moment turn into an outright protest from a bunch of members of the public, right? And so I give a
TFA very courteous for doing that, because if you, like I said in the last channel, if you wanted to really be like that, he can go right smack dab in the middle when they busy as hell and the lobby's packed, and not only is the staff gonna be uncomfortable, but damn near everybody in that damn lobby that's members of the public is gonna be uncomfortable as hell, guaranteed. And TFA doesn't, he makes sure that doesn't happen. You know what I'm saying? He goes out of his way to make sure I'm not trying to create a scene. You know what I'm saying? I'm really just trying to get this FOIA request out the way. You know what I mean? And y'all not trying to do it.
I could mail it, but I'm doing the person. So I'm a constitutionalist. My job is to make sure you're honoring the rights, not just of the Constitution, which is freedom of press, which is the First Amendment, but to also make sure you abiding by the penal code, by the public records law, and by the FOIA law. So the law says you can do it in person. And for the record, I'm a veteran with disabilities. The law says also, when you research what I'm telling you, I'm assuming you're still recording, you know? Yeah. The law says Americans with Disabilities Act for public records can give it verbally, and they have to write it down. Right. No, so at the same time, it's numerous of laws being broken, but then by me stating these laws, because this is what the courts always say for you guys. They say, well, the officers didn't know that at the time, so their immunity is in effect. But when it's professed and declared at the scene, and you willfully choose to not research it before making a decision, and I say it like that because you're not making a decision, essentially, but you're also, if I would have came here early, I'm assuming you probably would have told me to leave until you come up with a decision. So you'd have kind of pushed me out the building. hypothetical. But that's neither here nor there. I get it, no. Right. But no, they would have definitely wanted to. If I was here at 4 o'clock and they called you, you'd be like, hey man, until we figure this out, you gotta go. And that would have been totally wrong. No, and I don't want to put officers in the wrong. That's why I do so much talking. I do so much talking because I'm hoping, one, that one of the officers say, you know what, we don't even have a crime here. I don't need to do no footwork for them or him either.
Right.
All I need to know is if there's a law, who's breaking it and who's following it.
Well, that's exactly what I'm doing, but kind of just took longer to do that. I was just going to clear the call.
Well, no, because one thing you already know as an officer, any state, county, or federal entity have to accept a PR request, public records. You know this from the police department standpoint. So you already know a violation is being taken right now. They can't refuse it. They can't make up their own policy. They're talking, they're claiming, they're not showing nothing.
They're claiming that they already directed you how to do that, so that's what I stated to her, and she's like, no, we already told him.
So they're saying there's 4 methods to do it. We're forcing him to do it any other method except the method he wants to do it.
Yeah, okay.
That's illegal because the law says he can do it in person.
So that's their story, right?
Right. Well, so before we leave, what's my story? Before we leave.
Pretty much, I just know you're just trying to...
No, like what am I stating? You know what they're stating. So what am I pretty much stating? Like in a synopsis.
That they're violating whatever policies and procedures are in place because you're a citizen of the state, right, and you're a veteran, and that you should be able to give them this information, right, and they should be able to accept it.
Not because I'm a veteran, though, now. Yeah. Right, yeah.
So I'm guessing it has to do something with veterans with disability, right?
No. That's just a predicated factor.
But I'm saying maybe that's the reason why you can take that into consideration, why there's certain ways of serving them, right?
Right.
Because not everybody has the same capability, right?
Right. Yeah, that's one of the That's one of the exactly. You said it perfect. And that's all it is. But my last statement, I'm gonna let you guys go down out here after I get that number. But here's the deal. How do you guys allow them to use this phony 911 call over and over and over, and they keep saying, oh, because he's recording, or he's trying to request this, or we don't want him to disturb our emotions?
Yeah.
Why don't you guys say, if this is a matter of paper, take the paper, see if he leaves. If he don't leave, then we'll come back and we'll hit him with lingering or something like that. That makes more sense, doesn't it? It shows my intentions, right? Right.
Like I said, I tried to tell her that, but she's like, no, you can't accept anything. Like, she refused it, so I can't force it down her throat either, you know what I mean? I could just tell her what you're saying, right?
See, but I guess you got different officers doing different things, because I had 2 FOIA requests. One, I left at the house. The other one I brought the other day, and the officer from the day before yesterday, he made him take it.
I mean, maybe at that point, that's where they had that conversation with admin, I don't know, but now she was on the phone with whoever, she's like, no, we can't accept nothing, and I was like...
Boy, I don't think y'all would like me if I was a police officer, because y'all be like, damn, King's out there. Man, hey, King, come to the office. Man, you can't be making them take public records. I'll be like, man, the law says they got to take it. What would happen in that case? Just want to know, just in case I decide to go back to Edinburgh. If I was a police officer, and I said, hey, man, the law says he has the right to do this, and he's not violating this, and you're trying to step on his rights. So either you take this and let your supervisors contact him, or are we actually going to have to do a citation on you because you're actually violating the law? He's not.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I still have to figure that out, right? I'm not saying it's not going to happen. I'm just trying to figure out what's the right call. That's why I filed a report. And whether it gets filed as an offense, right, which is a criminal crime, right, then that gets sent to investigation, taken to the court, whether it's a citation, whether it's a offense. That's kind of how I'm going to handle this conversation.
Okay. You guys ain't going to press charge on them.
If it's something that, yeah, I mean, like I said, it's a criminal report, then yeah.
Okay, so to validate that right there, I'm gonna tell you how to do it. The first thing you should be figuring out is, does this individual have the right to do a FOIA request in person? That's the first thing you should figure out. The second thing you should figure out is, are they supposed to forward it to their public information officer? When you figure them 2 things out, then that tells you if that's valid. You can't do it backwards. You can't validate that first. You get what I mean, right? Yeah, I get it. Because if they're supposed to let me do a FOIA request, number one, and if they're supposed to send it up, and then they send you this, and then you validate that first, then you invalidate my rights by validating that first. Because I'm under certain situations, I don't even know actually from a public business, not indefinitely, but from a private business, you can ban people indefinitely. And I say indefinitely because it says ban. Ban means, yeah, private you can, but not public. That says ban. That means you can no longer come back. How can you ban somebody from a public office?
You can't.
It's a crime. Make sure you tell your officer, your chief or your investigators, can he be banned minus a crime? That's a key word, minus a crime. Because that's discrimination at that point. And when I say discrimination, I'm not saying black. I'm saying there's something called procedure discrimination. You can discriminate with policy also, right? You know what's crazy? They want all this stuff from me, and all I want is public records. They want private information. I want public information. That's crazy. Nah, man, I can't get that, man. And not because I'm trying to be rude or mean, but you got that number because you can. Not even give me nothing.
the code?
What's the number? This might be from yesterday. I be carrying these on me sometimes. No, that's it. Yeah. I be having a bunch of them sometimes, you know. But man, like, this is good education, as in communication for us, because they really want us to be out here bumping heads and having a hard time with each other. But we ain't did nothing. There's no laws broken, so there's no reason for us to be at odds or hot and ready, as they like to say, you know. But just do me that favor, man. When you go to your sergeant, chief, assistant chief, or investigator, whoever you turn that into to help you investigate that, make sure you stamp this statement. Can he be banned minus a crime?
That's what I'm trying to figure out, because at some point it's a public place, right? So I don't know if they have the right to do so. I don't know if, like I said, they reach out to the administration.
You can't ban somebody for exercising a constitutionally protected activity and then requesting public documents from public officials. You can't ban nobody for that. He's doing everything within the law. There's no way you can ban him. He's not committed any crime whatsoever.
Okay.
That's up to them, and I'm just, like I said, I'm the middle guy here.
That's crazy. They won't be banned. I done seen a lot of videos myself, and I ain't never seen no public place ban somebody. Have you guys ever seen that? I mean, with a crime, yeah, probably. Yeah, residential or business, private business, yeah. All right, man, Garcia, appreciate it again, man. Like I said, I can't be mad at you because you ain't did nothing wrong in terms of you didn't come out here and give me your ID, or I call that crack for police, by the way. That's crack. Your ID. No, you didn't come out here and tell them, yeah. You kind of said, hey, look. And when I told him that you wasn't enforcing it, you didn't like, hey, I know I am enforcing it. You didn't say that. No, you left it fair. You let them know, hey, look, we got to research this. We can't just make this decision on the spot all because you guys are mad because he's recording. Because guess what? If I wasn't recording, do you think they'd call y'all? No. So you know what that shows? First Amendment violation. You're calling us and you're banning him because he's recording his business. It'd be different if I walked.
Let's start there. That's exactly what's going on.
There with nothing to do, and y'all just recording. But if I'm only going to be in there as long as they take to do my request. So if they come on over here, I'm saying example. I got glasses on so you can't see the face better. But if they like, hey, you're going to come over here. All right, here's a copy of it. Thank you. I'm out the door that quick. I'm not going to put myself in jeopardy because you know why? Now they can say, hey, look, he has no business here. We've already did the business he's asked for. Now he's just causing a public spectacle or something like that. You know, even though recording in public is not crime, but they can kind of turn it into that vibe, right? You know, and that's why I said, you know, if they just took it, they wouldn't even have to ban me because my email is on there. So once my email is on there, I don't gotta come back here. I'll be like waiting. Now after 10 days, if they didn't respond to it, I probably would come and say, hey, the law says 10 days. What happened? You know, but you know, wait, man, I ain't gonna hold you too much longer. I appreciate it. Another dap. Hey man, can I get a group? Oh shit, let me get a group standby. Y'all got me? Nah, because it's rare that you get 3 officers who do a good job. That's rare. Yeah, so I mean, I like to put the officers who do. If you look at the channel, you see there's officers who I highlight. They did a great job, and it's actually no bad encounters. Maybe I was walking and somebody called the police because they thought I was suspicious. It's happened before. I was at a red light and I was at a bank, and I kept filming on the sidewalk. They called police. But the officer who came out there, that was in McAllen though. They came out there and he's like, no man, you ain't do nothing wrong. They just called, we just gotta come look. And I'm like, man, appreciate it. And him and the young lady, I'm like, let me get a picture. But the bad officers, I never ask you because I let everybody be like, make their own opinion. But if I know and I'm saying it for the world can hear, I'm saying these officers doing a good job. So I want to get y'all like a group. I get in the picture with y'all. Hey, come on, y'all help the public because y'all helping him and y'all helping me also. So I think it's a good deal. And I'm not a picture, it's like a recording, so it's not a picture. Yeah. Like
Icon or something?
Yeah, like that. Now you gonna keep the little like pose for me? Yeah, give me a pose. Come on now, y'all have a sense of humor. Give me a pose. I appreciate it. I got it.
Yeah.
I appreciate y'all, man. Hey, really appreciate it. What's your name again? Garcia. Yeah, appreciate y'all. Thank you. Yeah. Now, Garcia, take my email though. So whenever you get some findings, at least you can contact me. Okay. Take the flash audits.
And we're to Lincoln 11?
At yahoo.com. Okay. Yeah, so at least you can like, hey, Ms. King, this is what we found. And if I see it, then I already know instead of coming here again, I'll just go straight to maybe the police department to try to get some clarification or if it's something like that. But I'll be honest, minus a crime, I don't think they're going to be able to substantiate that. Not minus a crime, right. Yeah. I appreciate it, man. Yep. Man, family, you know, when I say the officers did good, I'm not saying that I agree with their decisions. What I'm saying is they did good with keeping their composure and not escalating things. That's what I'm saying when I say that they did good. they're keeping their composure and not escalating things. And maybe it's because they're young. When I say young, they're not in their 20s. They're all in their 30s. One of the gentlemen looked like he could be in his middle 30s. Excuse me, y'all. Sorry about that. One of the gentlemen looked like he could be in his middle 30s. But what I'm saying is, hold on. Okay, I had to look back. What I'm saying is, in terms of trying to escalate, they wasn't trying to escalate, you know. And he clearly said, I'm not enforcing this neither. And so, by him not enforcing it, that means I'm gonna go back again.
Yeah.
Until either they accept my other FOIA requests.
Yeah.
Because I had like 30 different things, y'all. And then the one that I just dropped off, that really wasn't the whole, that was on like five questions I was asking. But I had other things because I needed to file complaints. And I needed to also get other information pertaining to how long these employees been working. Because that one lady, if you look at the last video, she told me she was new. The one with the gray hair. She said she was new. And so I needed to do a FOIA request to look at these dates of these hires also to see if this public official was lying to me. So I'm just letting you guys know why I was doing another FOIA request. There was other information that I needed. Now, in terms of the I'm stuttering, y'all, because I'm trying to look at the police officer at the same time, and I'm also looking at shit. But in terms of the position these officers took, they took a fair position. And when I say fair, nothing about how police officers handle things for the majority of the time is fair. So they have a lower standard of fairness. So I'm not saying it was fair in the regular sense. So don't get it twisted. I'm saying for their low standard that they are required to operate on, they were fair. Now, in regular standards, they were unfair because they should have looked up the laws, especially the officer in charge. When I showed the other officers the laws and I recited the laws, they should have looked them up and seen what I was talking about.
Yeah, it wouldn't have took them that long to look that shit up either.
Have to do anyway. So that he could have went ahead and gave that person a ticket or something. Because, or arrested them for the offenses. A ticket, arrest, something, shit. You know, because they had a premeditated paper prepared that basically said, I was banned. That's crazy. You know, I didn't read it in terms of take it from their hand, but the officer read it and he said I was banned. That's what he said. That's what they were saying. They were saying I was banned. How the heck do you ban somebody from a public entity minus a crime? And how do you have it pre-prepared, like premeditated prepared? That's crazy. Family, you already know we got to take this one to the highest momentum of energy that the law has to offer. You already know. So all my families, I know y'all's gonna say, man, file a lawsuit, do this, do that. You already know I'm gonna do it. Most definitely going to do it, you know? And I like the officers, I really do. And I was trying to help them not put themselves in a part of the litigation so that they don't get tied up in a situation when they're not really bad people, you know? But man, this may be one of the most craziest situations ever. If you notice, when I walked in, they was already prepared. How you know? Because for the first time ever, a lady at the window said, can I help you? And this person I ain't never seen before, which is crazy, right? I ain't never seen this person before. And so what she says, she already got the stuff prepared. Security, when I walk in, he immediately jot down on a notepad the time I walked in, because that's what he was doing. If you notice, when I walked in, he looks up and he started writing what time I walked in.
If y'all notice, why, like, where the fuck is he walking to? Like, when we do these audits, we don't park directly in the parking lot. Because just say, if that was a bad encounter with the police, you know what I'm saying? And he still proved his point and got to walk away. The police would try to like get behind him and run his tags just to see if anything was going on there, and probably try to pull him over for any little minor traffic violation that we might commit, to then actually get our names and see if we got anything in the car and whatever else maybe, you know what I'm saying? So we park a ways away and we actually walk to wherever we're about to audit. We don't just park in the parking lot where we're about to audit. We park down the street and walk.
and probably the description of what I had on. And so he goes to the window, grabs the paper that they already got prepared, and he walks it over there to me as I'm talking to the young lady, standing on the side of me, trying to give me the paper, and then they're gonna tell me they can't email this. I'm like, what policy says you can't email that? That's ridiculous. That don't make sense. We have to hand it to you. I know, because you're trying to ban me from a public place minus a crime. That's crazy. You know, so
she was trying to pull off when she was like, "Oh, we trying to hand it to you." She was trying to hand that band paper to him.
So that's how you know they had it prepared. You know, he walks off and he tells the lady, "Hey, call the police." I don't know why security always the one saying call the police. Why you ain't calling the police? He always telling the other lady to call the police.
Yeah.
That's crazy. You know, they said call the police. I was only in there for like what, family? Honestly, y'all go back and review the video. How long was I in there before they said call the police? What, 3 minutes?
Not
2
even
minutes?
that long.
And this video not gonna be edited, y'all. I'm dropping the whole video. No members only situation. I'm dropping the whole video. So that y'all can see the entirety. There's only one part that kind of kicks in, and that's only because I had stopped the recording just to show the officer the law of official oppression, which is a Texas penal code. That's all on body cam. So when I get the body cam, that part not even missing. You're gonna see that also. Ain't nothing gonna be missing from this video. There's not gonna be any chops, any edits, any cutouts, nothing like that. Flash family, I can say a lot about this visit. I can go on, and I could probably never stop because there were so many egregious offenses created, and the nature of everything that happened is so ridiculous and redundant, and they created this fiasco simply by not taking my FOIA request. I thought they were gonna do good. But shit, then again, why I think that? Because the one I did leave up there, they didn't even want to take that one. I just kind of left it, right? So I guess after I left that one, they decided to retaliate. You know what? He left this here. We're gonna get him banned since he left a public records request. That's crazy. We didn't want to take it, but he left it. So now we feel like we need to ban him. That is retaliation at its finest. And like I say, Flash family, yeah, I'm excited. I told that officer, man, look, I'm laughing because I'm trying to keep composure. But this is a serious matter.
Right.
No, so don't misjudge or laugh, because y'all, I'm really serious about this. Laughing hides the pain. So, like I say, I can talk about this over and over, and y'all gonna see things I don't even see. It's gonna be things y'all point out, and how ridiculous this is, right? It might be some things y'all gonna say, man, he should have said it also. I don't disagree. But when you're in that situation, your mind racing, your thoughts going, and the stuff that you're hearing is bumfoolery, you hearing all this ridiculous bumfoolery, it'll make you almost missing things that you probably could have added to the conversation. However, Flash family, as I always say, I don't do this for you. I don't do this for me. I do this for us. And together, we are a family, bringing back and taking back our rights. With that being said, Flash audits, and I ain't going nowhere. But for the moment, I'm out.
Yeah, shout out to the Flash audits. That was another reaction from Educating America. 5th revisit. I feel like he's definitely going to be back for a 6th. So y'all wait till he drops that content. Because, I mean, hey, you can't ban me for, exercising protection. I mean, you can't ban me for exercising constitutionally protected activity. You know what I'm saying? You can't ban me for wanting to request public records. You know what I'm saying? You can't ban me because I got my phone out. You know what I mean? Recording my visit. You know what I mean? Shout out to TFA. I hope this health department gets their shit in order. I hope that security guard Cordova, whatever his name is, he gets some retraining. Because, I mean, dude, come on. Why are you calling the police? Come on, bro. You know what I'm saying? Police is not necessary at all. But, I mean, sometimes the police is necessary to educate. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to those cops. They weren't tyrants. They actually, you know what I'm saying? They came cool. They came cordial. They weren't, being like assholes. Like, where's the ID? You know what I'm saying? No, you can't be here. Like, automatically, you know what I mean? So, I hope that cop goes and does some research. Like he said he was going to do, so he can let all his other cops know what's going on. If they do get another call, which I think they might do get another call, because like I said, I feel like TFA is gonna go for a 6th visit. I feel like TFA is gonna keep going to this place until they get that motherfucker right. You know what I'm saying? And maybe they might violate his rights, and maybe he might have a lawsuit drawn up. Cause I mean, 5 visits to do some public work. You know what I'm saying? Public requests. And this is happening. 4 police officers. Come on, bro. Whatever health department this is, y'all gotta do better down there in Texas. Shout out to TFA for allowing me to react to the content. Y'all like, comment, subscribe. Y'all like, comment, share, subscribe to his channel, The Flash Audits. It'll be right here down low. And then y'all go like, comment, share, subscribe to my channel, Educating America. I'm a new auditing reaction channel. I probably am gonna get my boots out on the ground, you know what I'm saying, at some point. Probably gonna get out there with tune-in audits, you know what I'm saying, and we might just link up with KCA, Kansas City Accountability, maybe. Tune-in audits, he's handling that, so I just need to handle my channel with KCA too, and reach out. I reached out to him a few times, like while he was live, but I just need to reach out to him personally, you know what I'm saying? So shout out to Kansas City Accountability, shout out to the Flash Audit, shout out to the Godfather, shout out to the Godfather, Tyrant Terminator Audits, shout out to my cousin Tune-In Audit, shout out to Kansas City Accountability, shout out to Audited America, shout out to Eli, my peeps. And we out. Like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel. You know what the fuck going on.
Fellow Americans. My fellow Americans.
My fellow Americans.
My fellow Americans.
My fellow Americans.
My fellow Americans.
My fellow Americans.
EA Nation. It's in the game.